Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing good. So today's topic regarding the last video we have discussed how we can improve the quality of our asana practice with only 3 tips. So the last tips was to include bandhas in our asana after holding the asana for a little longer period of time. So today we'll be discussing in detail how we can include bandhas, who should include bandhas and who should not use bandhas in detail. So let's discuss without further delay. So I have divided this topic in 3 sections. First, we'll be discussing why we should include bandhas and what is the minimum requirement to practice bandhas. Second, we'll be discussing regarding what bandhas should be practiced and how we can do it. And the last, we'll be discussing who should not practice bandhas, or if you are a beginner, or why you should not practice bandhas if you are a beginner. So first topic is why we should include bandhas in our asana practice. So that I always say, if you are very beginner to the asana practice, or at least you are not 6 months or 1 year duration of practice, then you try to not include bandhas in your asana practice, because when we are including bandhas, we are completely understanding the breath mechanism and how the breath reaching, where the breath reaching, why we are in a asanas. So suppose you can't do asana but you have been doing pranayam or other meditation process for longer period of time, then also you can practice bandhas. So even in that case, we are fully aware of the inner exercise, or inside our body we have little or more awareness, so that in practicing bandhas it is very useful and effective. So in mudras also, it's not about performing, it's all about the realization or feeling the consciousness while we are preparing or practicing bandhas. That's why my recommendation is to not include bandhas when we are very beginner. The second point why we are not including bandhas if we are starting our practice is, even if we are doing some bandhas, some sorts of bandhas, then also the maximum benefit to this bandhas is not, we are not achieving, because you can't hold the bandhas for longer period of time. When we are holding the bandhas, minimum 7 seconds, or maximum you can hold up to 10-15 seconds, depends. But if you are a regular practitioner or practicing bandhas for little more time, you can see you are holding the bandhas simultaneously you are breathing. So to reach that stage, you need little more time. So I'm not spending much time in this. In short, if you are a beginner in practicing yogasana, try not to include bandhas in your practice. First practice at least for 6 months to a year, then we are going to including bandhas. Second, we'll be discussing 2 things: what bandhas I should practice and how to practice this. Okay. As we know, the interjunction of nadi is called as chakras. So there are n number of chakras in our body. Basically, we take hardly 121 or 108 chakras. Then again we are reducing it to only 7 prominent chakras. Those 7 prominent chakras, as all of you know, that is Sahasrara, then at your eyebrow center, Ajna chakra, then throat is Suddhi, then at our heart chakra, navel point, Swadhisthana and Muladhara chakra. Out of these 7 chakras again, you can't, you can't manipulate, or you can't touch, or you can feel some chakras which are completely inside, or which you can touch, or which you can feel only through your meditation practice or some kind of asana practice, or if you are doing some sort of specific asana practice, then only you can feel those points. Suppose eyebrow center, it's not about the point here, it's all about close to the pituitary gland. It's called Bindu point, the center of our head. If you pierce from your ears and at your eyebrow center, the junction point is the Bindu point. That is called our Ajna chakra, the exact point of Akhyan Chakra is close to that point. So we can't do anything to that point physically, what I mean to say. If you consider the next one, it is throat chakra, Visuddhi. So this point we can feel it with little more physical modification. That's why the first chakra comes here, that is Jalandhar Bandha. Jalandhar Bandha what? When you take your chin close to the neck. How to practice? I am going to tell in next section. Okay. Then the third point is heart chakra, which also you can feel only through your meditation or conscious effort mentally. Physically, you can't do anything to that chakra. Then comes navel point, Navi chakra, which is Manipur chakra. Manipur chakra, we can physically little bit touch and feel, or we can move our navel point with our wish. Then comes Swadhisthana chakra. Even there, we can't do much with physical intervention. Then come Muladhara chakra, which again we can do little more with our physical intervention, with our voluntary muscles. So next we'll be discussing how we are considering these bandhas. So out of there are many bandhas. So initially or majorly we focus only 3 bandhas, that is what I told, Visuddhi chakra, Jalandhar Bandha, Nabhi, which is Uddiyana Bandha, then Muladhara, the perineum region, that is called as Mula Bandha. So only these 3 together when you are going, we are calling it Mahabandha. So even for if we are not requiring or targeting for a specific kind of bandhas, these 3 are enough, more than enough for regular practice or to achieve or to take to the asana practice or pranayam to the next level. So next I am going to explain how to do it. So first, if we consider the Jalandhar Bandha, throat chakra, then we are connecting our chin close to the neck. That's why I tell always it is very much necessary to practice asana to do this kind of bandhas, because when we are taking this chin close to the neck, if you are not practicing asana, suppose Sarvangasana helps, Matsyasana helps, Halasana helps, your back of the neck is very flexible. Only then you can take maximum close to your chin to the neck, as close. So the more close your chin to the neck, the more conscious you can feel at your throat chakra. So that is the point, that is why we are practicing asana, or that you can say mandatory. Or this is a very sukma asana. You can achieve this. Many of us, we can't do a full touch of the chin to the neck. This is the maximum case we can do, how much ever you can coming close to the neck. At that time, 2 ways are there throughout the bandhas practice. Either you can breathe out and hold, or breathe in and hold. That is called Kumbhaka, holding the breath. Holding the breath first, initial condition. Then you can start feeling the sensation. After practicing few seconds or few times, you can slowly breathe in and breathe out, along with being consistent, being constant at the point of your throat, that is Jalandhar Bandha. Second, we are going to Uddiyana Bandha. So Uddiyana Bandha, what we do? Same process, breathing out or breathing in. Both way, we are just taking our navel point in, maximum possible. This is also after practicing for few months or years, you can feel keeping stomach, navel point inside, squeezing in. You can breathe in, breathe out slowly, comfortably. So that is should be our aim. But initially you can breathe out or breathe in and hold the navel point inside as much as possible, squeezing in. The third point for third bandhas is Mula Bandha. Actually, many videos or text I have seen, it is mentioned that to squeeze or pull the anal part inside. But initially, to start with, we can do that, squeezing the anal part in. But you try to squeezing the perineum region, which is there is a gap between your anal point and your point of there is a small gap. You can feel the reproductive organ and your anal point. That point we need to squeeze in. same process. You can breathe out and hold or breathe in and hold. Initially, try individually 1, 1, 1. Then try to combine this all three together. And after that, we can focusing on holding this all three together, breathing in, breathing out slowly and comfortably. So these all bandhas combination is called as Mahabandhas. The last part we are going to discuss is regarding, suppose we have done this bandha, what is the next? As I have mentioned, the other point why you should not practice at the beginning is the body is not used to these bandhas. There are little bit of side effects of these bandhas. Those are inside our body when we are getting anger or if you are eating something very spicy. We in our inside the you can say food channel or some other organs inside we are getting little more wounds kind of scenario, or slight bleeding also comes up sometimes. So when we are practicing these bandhas, this slight increasing of heat occurs in our body. So that heat, excess heat, can make little more damage to those existing ulcers or existing wounds in our inside body. So we don't know those things at all. So initially if you are practicing for at least few months or a year, those parts are already taken care. Then this your body is ready to take this kind of little bit here and there inside wound or heat or something. Body is ready to take it, but initially body is not ready. So okay, once you have been practicing, still we have to take extra little bit precaution. After practicing bandhas, always we should do Nadi Shodhan. So Nadi Shodhan always heals. It is balancing. I'll be explaining more regarding only Nadi Shodhan and benefits of bandhas in some other video. So today I'll be saying definitely after practicing bandhas, we should practice Nadi Shodhan at least 10 cycles each side, or you can say 10 minutes. So Nadi Shodhan is very simple. Inhale from left, closing right. Always start with left inhalation. Exhale from right. Again same, inhale from right, exhale from left. This is one cycle. At least try to 10 cycles. And this is not like fast breathing or something, not like that. As slow possible. Normal breathing with one nostril closed. That's all. So if we do this will tend to balance your right and left side of our body, what is called as sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Once with this, if at all there is any disturbances inside our body, that will be resolved. This is the 3 parts. Again I am revising. If you are beginner, try not to practice. When you are practicing, focus only on 3 bandhas. Why we should practice only 3 bandhas, I have explained. Those are Jalandhar Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandhas. How to practice, I have informed. And better, only for bandhas, you should directly approach to a teacher, yoga teacher, so they can explain you in detail how to practice, when to practice. I have just given the glimpse of bandhas. You should include bandhas so that you can feel the difference little bit faster in your yoga practice. Last one, if you are practicing, include Nadi Shodhan just after practicing bandhas. These are all explanation regarding bandhas. So hope it helps you a lot, and stay tuned for this kind of analysis and short videos regarding the asana and yoga practice. Namaskar.